Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests and events with first to market odds and lines. Now, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all sports information from live in game betting props and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now, use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now, Bet Online is where the game starts.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Believe in Bills. I'm just General Rafford, and I'm here with the legend in 2 games. No Pee-wee. We got Coach Muki Hawkins in the building. What's going on, Coach? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, I'm good. What a Wednesday. We received some good news 3 times today.
Hey, that 3 is very, very, very influential right now. It means a lot to us, especially as we kick things off. We start off with the biggest news of the week, of the month, of the year so far. Damar Hamlin is good. He's not only alive, but also doing very well. Expected to be released from the hospital here in a couple days.
Oh, no. He's released.
Oh, he's been released already.
He was discharged this morning, and he's at home in his own bed. So, that's one of the 3 good things that we got going on today. So, yeah, he's home, with his mom and dad, here in Buffalo at his place, just chilling right now, just on the road to recovery. And it's good just to be home in your own bed. So, all the prayers and all the thoughts and all the cards and all the love that Bills Mafia has shown. I mean, just people across the whole world, the whole globe. Thank you so much. I'm quite sure that Damar is so ever appreciated of it, and man, the team is ecstatic right now.
Yeah, talk a little bit about that. Like, tell us a little bit about how the players and the coaches and just everybody in the organization is, in the locker room, or what the difference has been like ever since, the incident happened versus now that they have an idea that he's okay and they've been able to talk to him.
Well, a bit of I can't say a bit of relief, just a lot of relief to know, that their brother, their teammate is okay at this point. What they witnessed out there on the field, again, only they would know. We were either in a press box or we were, watching it on TV. So we didn't get a chance to witness what the players that was actually down there on the field with him witnessed. So, very traumatic scene. A lot of guys was traumatized about it. A lot of guys were very emotional about it. But now, they feel that, the pressure is off. Their brother is okay, and now they can get back to doing things that they love doing. And that's playing football and preparing for Miami this week.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of playing football, they did have a game this week where they honored Damar to the highest degree possible. It was a final matchup of the season, week 18 matchup versus the Buffalo Bills and the New England Patriots, where the Bills defeated the New England Patriots 35-23. Started off as a pretty close game. It looked like the energy always felt like it was on the Bills' side to me, but it was 17-14 at one point. Patriots were winning. Things immediately changed after that. But at one point, the Patriots did have an opportunity. What do you think about the first half Buffalo Bills?
Well, the emotions was high. And that they were going to come out playing with a lot of emotion. But as the game settled down, let's not forget, New England was playing for their playoffs last as well. And a win would clinch, the final playoff spot for New England. So, they had a lot to play for as well. It wasn't like, they didn't have anything to play for. They had a lot to play for. And being where Bill Belichick has gone the past couple of years, he was pulling out all stops. He was doing whatever was necessary for his team to win. But like you said, Justice, I think God was on the Bills' side. Football gods were on their side, and at the end of the day, the Bills just made more plays than New England did.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very sound game. The one Josh Allen interception, and of course, Devin Singletary fumble. But I feel like the offense kind of got back a little bit to what they wanted to do. Stephon Diggs got back into heavy rotation, and that was really good to see, especially heading into the postseason. John Brown was able to come back and get one. It looked, it was pretty cool to see John Brown out there catching a long touchdown pass from Josh Allen, like we saw 2-3 years ago, toward the initial steps in this dynasty or potential dynasty that we could be seeing in front of us. So the Bills did defeat the New England Patriots, and they clinched the second seed in the NFL playoffs. Second seed, Chiefs clinched the first seed, and although the Bills and the Bengals, for that matter, both defeated the Chiefs, they ended up getting it on a technicality. So they will have a first round bye. AFC Championship game will be played at a neutral site if it should include those guys. So we wanted to get into Ken Dorsey here a little bit. Coach asked him a question, and he gave a pretty interesting response that we want you guys to see here.
No doubt, Coach. In certain situations, there tend to be some struggles. While both of your running backs are averaging over 5 yards of carry, what comes from those struggles in short yard situations when that's happening? What are your thoughts?
In short yardage in general, or
yes, in short yard situations while both your running backs are averaging over 5 yards.
I think it's just one of those things where they've got some good players over there too, and I really think we've improved as the year's gone on in those situations, and continue getting better and better. And we just got to make sure that in those deals you're getting movement, you're limiting penetration, and then a lot of times it has to do with communication and making sure everybody's on the same page and go into the right spots and IDs on point, and everybody's working in the same direction. So again, I think there's a lot of things that go into it when you're in those situations, and I think we'll continue to grow in terms of some of the different things we could potentially do there, whether it's run or pass or to keep a defense off balance. But you always like to be physical in those situations and making sure you're setting the tone for your offense as much as possible.
One more, if I may, Coach. It is win or go home time. How do you prepare so you make sure you have every call necessary for every situation going forward?
I think it's just trusting the fact that your guys are prepared in the game plan and have the ability to adjust wherever you need to adjust. So it's always a balancing act of, okay, do you have too much in? Do you have not enough in? It's that right mix of making sure that you have the right amount to where you can prepare and guys feel comfortable with it and they're not overwhelmed with it, but you have enough to attack a defense. And be able to pivot and adjust based off of what you're getting. So it's always the balancing act that you fight as a coach and putting a plan together. And our guys have done a great job all year handling whatever we've thrown at them.
No doubt, Coach. Have a great week of practice. Good luck Sunday.
Thank you.
Hey,
What do you take from that? Coach Dorsey do a good job of running around the question, as he should. He's the offense coordinator. He can't tell me, we're going to do it this week, because you never know, what Miami intelligence might be lurking, listening to our show or watching, social media is it's public information. So, he got to beat around the bush there a little bit, but you got to read in between the lines of his answer. And, I understand the method to his madness, but at times I don't. There's no reason for, your running backs to be averaging over 5 yards a carry, and we struggle on 2nd and 3, 3rd and 3, 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2. And I'm breaking off these games because, This happened in a Cincinnati game. Only on the only possession. Running game gets you all the way down there, and you start passing the ball. Then you have to settle for a field goal. You run one play that just was just doomed from the beginning. Josh Allen just throws the ball down, and on 3rd and 3, you go with Cole Beasley, which Cole Beasley was wide open, but him and Josh didn't connect on converting that first down. So you had to settle for a field goal, and you know that Minnesota situation where it was 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2. We're not running a football on 3 straight plays. We're not running a football inside the red zone. We're passing the ball. Doesn't make any sense to me, especially when your running backs are averaging over 5 yards every time they touch the football. So, yeah, that was an ultimate head scratcher for me. Maybe Coach Dorsey was playing possum the entire season. They ended up being 13 and 3, but can't leave no bullets in the clip this week. You got to let it all hang out and be prepared. So that's why I asked him that last question. How prepared is he ready to have every play for every situation if need be?
Yeah, absolutely. And like you've been saying it all season. First, you said it with the Cincinnati game, how it's time to pull out the big stops, but obviously that didn't happen for obvious reasons. So now you play Patriots, and you're not too worried about the Patriots. You're already in at the worst. You're a 3 seed. So I guess you could theoretically give them a pass there, but now it's the postseason, and we need to see the creativity. We need to see just what the prowess that they possess is. And you said he ran around a question a little bit, because I was thinking while he was answering, I was like, I didn't really get an answer as far as the difficulty they're having on 3rd and shorts and 4th and shorts. Because 3rd and 15, you almost feel more confident that they'll convert that than a 3rd and 2 or a 3rd and 1, like because the ball is in Josh's hands and he can do anything. And guys are playing deep, and next thing you know, he's running up the middle or he's running up the side, and that's a 17-yard gain there. So those are easy, but it seems like if the defense knows that we are gonna run, they're always in the backfield immediately, and then it's like we have stopped running to a degree. Like they'll almost always play action fake, or what I mean, Josh will pull the ball out and run around the side or something like that. It's rare that the Bills run on the 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, and actually convert it. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. But going into the wide receiver room a little bit, Jamison Crowder has returned from injury.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the wide receiver room as it is currently constructed, do you believe that Jamison Crowder could be seeing extensive playing time in the playoffs?
I'm not sure. I mean, because it's a little different from defense. I mean, offense, you got to, just get the feel of, running routes, planning, cutting, and then you're being tackled all over again. And then, having, any type of chemistry with Josh, at this point. So I think that, Crowder has an uphill battle, going in. He's not going to play this week. If it was next week, I don't think you would see him either. Due to the fact that you have Cole Beasley back, you do have John Smoke Brown back. Khalil Shakur has been, solid when called upon. Stephon Diggs is Stephon Diggs, and Gabe Davis is the number 2 wideout. So I don't know. McKenzie was on the injury report today with a hamstring. We didn't know how severe, that hamstring is, because if he can't go, then there's a possibility that Smoke and Beasley may suit up. So, those are 2 familiar weapons that Josh is comfortable with, that he's used to. And you pair that off with Dawson Knox and Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis. Miami like to play man for man. So, it's just like old times if that was to happen. So, stay tuned for the rest of the week and see how that transpires with McKenzie's injury. That would definitely tell a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And if McKenzie isn't going to be able to go, who do you think would be like an X factor wide receiver who you could see making a major contribution to the team, not named Stephon Diggs or Gabriel Davis?
I would have to say Smoke Brown. I mean, the spark that he was able to give the team last week is what they've been, kind of lacking. Somebody that can blow the top off the defense. And, Smoke Brown showed you that he still has the speed and he definitely has the hands, because that was on display right there on that pass. Not too many people can go and get a Josh Allen pass. Smoke was able to, man, run that ball down and show great hands on corralling it, carrying it through the end zone. So I think the Bills need, that type of, firepower out there for the playoffs. Again, he's a seasoned vet. He's tremendously healthy at this point, because he's barely played. And, he showed you that, he still got it. So I would think Smoke Brown at this point, pending the way that Miami plays defense. You can't double everybody if Smoke Brown is out there with Stephon Diggs and Gabriel Davis. So I would say, at this point, Smoke Brown would definitely be a guy that could help the Bills this week. So hopefully he suits up. We got a couple more days to find out.
Absolutely. All right, so we will see who is going to be a playmaker for these Buffalo Bills in the playoffs as they try to win their first Super Bowl in team history since the AFL-NFL merger. So we'll see what happens. But just like we got a little bit of questions from coach to the coaches, we got one from Dorsey, and now let's check out the one from defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier.
Coach Frazier, Muki Hawkins, Buffalo Sports 1080. How you doing?
I'm doing good, Muki. Doing good.
Man, I don't know of any team that's went through so much adversity as this team right here, to still be division champs for 3 years in a row, to have a 13-3 record. So, Coach, I just first and foremost I want to say hats off to you, Coach McDermott, the staff, and everybody there on doing the outstanding job of preparing your guys for the field of play, going through so much adverse moments. So. It's I mean, I'm quite sure, you could write a book on it, in some years to come, but, to football we go. Playing Miami for the third straight time. And, Miami ran a lot of, motions, window dressings, trying to negate your blitzing, blitzing the guy, especially, in the run game where most ran for over 173 yards. How do you focus on stopping the run when they have two explosive weapons in the passing game?
Yeah, that's a good question, Elmer, because you're right. They have two guys in the passing game that if you ignore them, they can make it a long day for you. So you got to pay attention to them. But yet, you still got to deal with this run game. So it presents some challenges, and that's one of the reasons for a long time they were one of the top offenses in the league, because of that two-headed monster that they have. So, we're going to have to be able to deal with their run game and try to contain those two really good wideouts. Both Tyreek and Waddle are really good, but we got to be able to deal better with this run game than we did the last time we played them, without sacrificing the pass defense.
Absolutely.
They absolutely 100,000,000% need to play the run game better than they did the last time. And they will have more opportunity to do that because they won't be so worried about the pass game, because you owe me $3. Tua is ruled out. Tua has been ruled out for the wild card game. So with that being said, obviously, Coach, we should see a pretty stacked box, right?
We are too, we are too. But here again, we didn't see that against the Jets and against Zach Wilson. When pressured, he's the worst quarterback in the NFL. Bills didn't blitz him at all. And what was the end result of that? They end up losing the game. So, you got to look at, they're like a box of chocolates. You never know what we're going to get out of these guys. But it is the playoffs. They're playing for their playoff life. So I do expect the Bills to be a little bit more aggressive, knowing that, what's at stake, what's on the line. They can't play around with it. They got to be aggressive. They got to force the action a little bit. on defense, force Skylar Thompson to be one-dimensional, shut down the run game, and let him beat you with his arm. So yeah, I would say you would see more of a stacked box than not. This week, playing against a really depleted Miami Dolphins team at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And last time the Buffalo Bills played a AFC rival late in the season, then turned around and played them in the playoffs, it was a straight up blowout. I mean,
Yeah,
like
flawless victory.
it was, yeah, literally fatality. Um, could we potentially expect to see another version of that in Orchard Park on Sunday afternoon?
Yeah, you can. I think the emotions are still going to be riding high, especially now with DeMar, being at home. And, I'm quite sure the guys are going to, get an opportunity at some point to stop by and speak with him and, give him a big old hug and stuff like that. So, things are a little bit more normal, but they got something to play for. They got something to ride on. And that is, playing for DeMar at this point for the remainder of the year. So, that could be that could be a problem for any other opponent. I mean, dealing with a team that's playing for that has an extra incentive. Already coming in as the favorite to win the Super Bowl before the season began, but now this gives the Bills a reason to go out there and play extra hard, for their brother and to get the job done. And once again, Miami plays a lot of man coverage, so that Josh Allen loves a team that plays man coverage a lot. So yeah, it can easily be another flawless victory. I mean, come Sunday, the Bills got to definitely get the job done. Uh, you know, um, it's like Dion said. It's like you've been on a date for the third time. You know what that person like, and hopefully we'll be able to take this one home. Pause.
Okay, that's a good reference. All right, and of course, with that being said, talking about the defense, you have to mention maybe. I mean, he may be the strongest leader on the defense. Uh, I would say from the outside looking in, it certainly looks like it. He is, but returning from injury is Micah Hyde, who of course had a neck injury and was forced to go on IR earlier in the season. I mean, like mad early. It was like week 3 or something. That was a real big blow. But he has returned from injury. He's been activated. So what does this mean for this defense? You not only get your all-pro cornerback Tre'Davious White back, in the middle of the season, he's been able to stretch out a little bit, stretch out that knee and go out there and get some playing time to get ready for the playoffs. He also got an interception in the last game, so that was dope. And now you get one of, if not the leader of your defense back in Micah Hyde. How much does that help the Bills?
It helps them out tremendously. I mean, you got a ball hawker athlete, in Micah Hyde, that know how to disguise coverage. Like him and Jordan Poyer are probably the two of the best safeties that I know that that really could disguise coverage very, very well. And you get that back at some point. But the Bills definitely have to, take care of business this week because Micah Hyde won't suit up this week. Um, it's a possibility that, he may suit up, versus Cincinnati. But again, it's still up to the doctors because, he does have a neck injury. So, you got to be real careful on, a guy dealing with a neck injury. How soon do you bring him back? But he did say that he's ready to play. He feel good. His body is very refreshed. And if it comes down to him playing, you know how it is. Did your mind worry about your neck injury, or do you just focus, just lock in and play football? He said he's more or less locked into playing football. But again, it's up to the doctors to release him on that point. But if I was a gambling man, and the Bills take care of business this week, I wouldn't be surprised if Micah Hyde is activated for this Cincinnati game. And you don't have to play him on first and second downs. Just play him on third and long situations where his veteranship would have a benefit out there on the field. Rather than more guys that's inexperienced, what they've been dealing with, throughout the course of the season. No disrespect to, the guys that's filled in, but, Micah Hyde is an all pro guy, and I would rather have, an all pro safety and Micah Hyde out there than just about anybody in the NFL. So don't be surprised if, the Bills advance this week, that, there's a possibility that Micah Hyde may be activated for the Cincinnati game.
Yeah, I think we all would be looking forward to seeing Micah Hyde come back. Like you said, he's an all pro. It's not, slight to anybody else. This guy's just really, really good. You know what I mean? Before we get up out of here, Coach, I gotta ask you about that Cincy matchup. What are the chances we could be seeing the winner of the Jacksonville Jaguar Chargers game because the Ravens beat the Bengals?
That's pretty interesting. This is playoff. It's when to go home time. I didn't get a report out from Baltimore to see is Lamar is going to play or not. But, I mean, hey, it's win or go home. So anybody, anybody can beat on any given, day at this point, whether it's Saturday or Sunday. You got to bring your A game. Your B game ain't good enough no more. You know what I mean? So if Baltimore bring their A game, and, again, that's an opponent that they've, they played all season long, that they're familiar with. Whoever has the A game is going to advance. B game, it just ain't going to get it. So, they didn't, they dominated the game last week, but, Baltimore made, a solid comeback, and it came down to an onside kick, being recovered by Cincinnati. So, hey, Baltimore isn't scared of Cincinnati. I can tell you that much. And if it all shakes out like I did before, the curse of the 1 seed may exist. So there's a strong possibility that, Baltimore can knock off Cincinnati, and we'll end up playing the winner of the Chargers and Jacksonville. Strong possibility there.
It's a strong possibility. I mean, I'm just saying. I'm not going to say that I'm betting for it to happen, but if you asked me who I would pick to win that game, if Lamar Jackson plays, I'm going with the Ravens. So we'll see what happens. All right, Coach. Let's go ahead and get into a moment with Muki. Let us know what's on your mind tonight, man.
Ooh, what is on my mind? NFL, y'all been very disrespectful all season long. Y'all have been very, very, very disrespectful. First and foremost, the Bills only have over 4 Pro Bowlers, and now no All Pros. I mean, this is a straight out blasphemy. How Jordan Poyer don't make the All Pro team again? You give it to Minka Fitzpatrick and Derwin James. I don't have no understanding to that. I know it's only one quarterback that can go, and everybody loves Patrick Mahomes, so he went there. So if Mitch Morris is all pro center, how come he's not an all pro center? We did not have not one all pro, and the Bills been the number 1 seed all season long. It's very, very, very disrespectful, but that's okay. They can save all those awards. The biggest trophy that they're looking for is that Vince Lombardi one. So, that's all they care about. So that's what I got to say about that. They very, 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 very disrespectful when it comes to, our Bills putting work in this year. No all pros, very minimal Pro Bowlers. I just don't get it.
Yeah, they absolutely have been disrespecting the Bills all year. You gotta remember they are the number 1 seed. They really shouldn't have lost the game all season. They beat every team that came across them except for the Vikings, who, I mean, let's be real, they beat. Like, that game was over, if not for, it was a pretty spectacular catch, but it was also kind of fluky. So let's cool it down with the Bills hate. I don't get it, guys. But
every game they lost was, by a score or less. It wasn't like a team just blew them out. It was always a close game. It was never nothing that, the Bills got dominated or anything like that in the defeat. It was really self-inflicted, if you ask me.
And the 2 AFC divisional losses that were pretty fluky we came back and beat them. You know, so the Vikings the only team we didn't beat all season, and the Bengals, of course, because we didn't finish the game. But anyway, we'll see what happens in these playoffs as we watch Josh Allen, the highest rated quarterback of all time in the postseason, do his thing up there in Orchard Park Sunday. All right, Coach, send him out of here, man.
The Bills are the 2 seed. The road to the Super Bowl starts now. Only thing I got to say is, do you believe? Bet Online is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports contests and events with first to market odds and lines. Now, find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. Bet Online continues to be the top online resource for all sports information from live in-game betting props and futures. Head to Bet Online today or use your mobile device to join today and make your first sports bet. Now, use our promo code BLEAV50 to receive your 50%. Welcome your bonus on your first deposit. Now, Bet Online is where the game